Hello everyone, today we have got the Dacia Bigster. It's the 2025 latest Dacia in the range. As you can see, it's a really nice looking vehicle. As ever, we're going to go through all of the specifications, give you a walk around of the vehicle, show you how all the controls are working, and my honest opinion on the vehicle. Comes in three specs. We've got the Expression, the Journey, and the Extreme. This one here that we've got is the Journey. It's had some additional items added to it, which we'll talk about, but things like a panoramic sunroof, side steps on the side. So we'll go through those and we'll show you everything within the vehicle. So with 5 colours in the range, this being the blue, and 3 powertrains: a TC 155 hybrid, a TC 140, so 140 brake petrol turbocharged, and a 130 4x4. So sticking with the Dacia Duster and Bigster's kind of makeup from where it's come from, still can have that 4x4 all-terrain vehicle, which, as a lot of tests have shown, can even outperform things like Land Rovers on the 4x4 options. So the Bigster has keyless entry. I've got the keys with me. As we approach the vehicle, the wing mirrors will unfold and we're able to get into the vehicle. If I close the door and walk away, you'll hear a noise, the wing mirrors will fold in and the vehicle is locked. So we're going to take a look around the vehicle. As I said, this is the Journey, which is the middle of the 3 specs. We've got 19-inch diamond cut alloy wheels. On the entry level, the Expression, you've got 17, and on the Extreme you have got 18-inch. We've got LED front lights. As we move around the vehicle, really nice bonnet here and a good kind of overall look to the vehicle. It's sticking with the trends of Dacia at the moment. As you can see, we have got the side steps. These are an option. I'm a little bit torn on them. For me personally, they look nice, but they do make getting out of the vehicle a bit harder if you are a bit shorter. So it's one of those things, good for getting up onto the roof if you've got stuff on the roof, but as I say, can make getting out a little bit harder for some people. On that note, we've got the longitudinal roof bars here, as the same with the Duster, and the stepway, you can kind of turn those to be functional so they can unclip and rotate, which is a really nice design feature. Rear door handles have been moved up, again creating a nice sleek design on the vehicle. Rear lights looking really nice here. So this being the middle spec, we have got an automatic tailgate. So it's a bit of an interesting one. With the Journey, this comes as standard, and then if you move up to the Extreme, you don't get the automatic tailgate, but you do get the panoramic roof as a standard, but you can't add the tailgate. So with the Journey, you can have the panoramic roof as an option and you have the tailgate as standard, but if you move up a spec, you can't have them both. So a bit of an odd one there in terms of the specifications. Automatic seat release, so if I pull this, the seats will drop automatically. We have got the power in the rear, so if you've got things like cool boxes, etc. Pull over blind, which can go 1 step or 2 step, and then that will also can just unclip completely, giving you, we drop this seat as well. As you can see, it's a really sizable boot. I'll give all the dimensions and everything towards the end of the video. And then just a button up here, press, and it will close down. One thing we didn't show you, if we open it up again, so you've got to drop down again. This can go in, so if you have got a load that is a smaller and the seats are up, you can have the compartmentalization there. Underneath again, is just solid. So if you have a spare wheel option, this is a hybrid, so the battery's there, but then you have spare wheel options there, and then obviously that lifts up as well, so you can have it drop even further to increase that size even more. Filler cap just there. So as I said, all three are petrol options. As we move around, so we're going to take a jump inside the vehicle as we do normally, go through all of the controls, etc. But before we do that, I'm going to go through some of the leg rooms from the exterior so you can kind of see how they go. So here we are. So we're going to look at the leg room here. So I'm going to set up as I would in the front seat, and then we'll see how much room we have in the rear. It's a bit of a step up, obviously SUV. That's the kind of style. I'm comfortable driving here. Plenty enough room, stretching out there. Feels really spacious. Good amount of headroom for me. We've got a height adjustable seat here, which is a manual adjust. So you pump down or you pump up. So if we look into the rear now, I mean, already I can see plenty of room. I mean, the clue's in the name, the Bigster. It is a really nicely big vehicle. That is so much room. Headroom's even better in the rear here. Yeah, I'd be really, really comfortable on a long journey. Definitely. So starting on the passenger side here, you can see height adjustable passenger seat, same as the front. It's a pump action, pump it up, pump it down. Fully electric auto front windows. Capacity of this, as you can see, it's pretty good size. There with a little tray for paperwork, etc., service records. And as we move to the rear, again, electric rear windows, automatic. So you've got two power points at the back, again, newer USB style. Two air vents. Your lights are, again, up onto the rear rather than the side, which is, if you are actually reading in the rear, is quite nice because they are behind you, kind of angled down. One thing to note, if you are in the back and there's only two passengers, you have a pull cord here, this one here. So if I pull that, this will drop down, and that allows you to have your drinks holders for the rear two passengers, which is quite nice. It's tucked away, so if you have got three in the back, it doesn't take up any room, and it's just a drop down. It's just, again, one of Dacia's kind of efficiency things. Rather than having the armrest that flops down, which is obviously adding expense, this is just a way that it's tucked away, clever design, and helps keep Dacia the cost it is, which obviously is something that we all like with the Dacia range. Isofix across both rear seats. So we've looked at the boot. We are now going to move towards the front. So now we're going to look into the driver's side, go through some of the controls in here, go through the infotainment system, etc. On the door card, you have got your 4 window controls. Lock the rear windows. Select left or right wing mirror and move them around, or you can fold in your wing mirrors automatically. And if I press it again, they'll fold out. This is to control the passenger airbag. So if you have got a child in the front, like a little baby, you can turn it off there. But there is no Isofix in the front, so to bear in mind. So it'd be something you'd be looking to probably put them in the rear anyway. You have got your handbrake here, but it's an automatic handbrake, so you really don't need to be using this button very often. That's why they've kind of tucked it away over this side. And then you can, being the electric tailgate, you can open your boot from here. As we move up, you've got your different modes here. So this is to do with your sensors and surround. You've got your eco, your light height adjustment, and your energy saving mode. So as we're inside, steering wheel first. So these are all your controls. You'll see the infotainment system waking up there with their graphics. But we've got all of our cruise control here. Being the hybrid, you have got automatic kind of adjustment, whereas your manuals, you won't have that. You can set it, but it won't adjust automatically to traffic in front of you. And that's what this is. That's the keeping your distance there. Phone controls. This will cycle through your different modes on the dash. So as you can see, it's cycling through. You can bring into your sat nav into the main bit here. All that. Automatic lights and automatic wipers are on here. So you'll see it's on the auto mode. You can turn them on, but it's best just to leave it on auto. It's the easiest thing to do, and it will just sense whatever the lighting is and have the right lights on for you. The same with the rain sensitivity. So you'll have it on auto, and then these drops are the sensitivity. So if you're someone that really doesn't like any water on the screen, you have it on the lightest drop. So as soon as it starts raining a little bit, they'll come on. Or if you hate the wipers and you can deal with a little bit of rain, then you adjust up basically. So and then the rear wiper on the stalk there. Into the central, another parking brake icon there, and you've also got your gear lever. So obviously this being the automatic, we have that there, otherwise it would be your classic manual there. In the journey spec, you've got your automatic your electric phone charger here, otherwise you've got the 2 ports, and again the traditional there. Aircon controls, all sleek in one bar. So temperature up and down, fan speed, maximum demists. Automatic, so again it will sense the temperature of the day and do the opposite. Cycle air, aircon, and then direction of the fans. This is your lock. It will turn. You can have it so it turns on automatically as you drive, or you can turn that off if you wish. We have 4 vents for the front, your 2 main here, and 1 either side. So if I power on, just so we don't have that energy saving mode coming on, we're looking to the dash. So as you can see, petrol icon here, and then your battery this side here with the EV. Shows you which gear you're in. Up here again is just your seatbelt sensor. So you're green obviously if you're belted, and you're red if you're not. This is the speed of the road you're on, and then when we've got sat nav on, it will show in there. Over to the main console here. So house button is home. So this is your home. So we've got audio, navigation, your phone, and your vehicle stats all on one screen. If we swipe, we can edit the widget, so you can edit what is on your home screen. So if I didn't want my vehicle, but I wanted something else, like my eco scores or my date and times, you can kind of edit it around there. Otherwise, we can tap and bring straight up to your music there. So Android, Apple CarPlay, phone brings up just your phone. Obviously, nothing's connected at the minute. And then we've got our main options here. So as you can see, there is a lot more on here than traditional. We've got things like calendars, so you can kind of set stuff in the car here. And then along the bottom, heated steering wheel. We could turn that on. Heated seats, etc. if we wanted. So really clean, easy to use. Volume is up the top here, or on the steering wheel. And then you can power to minimal display. So if it's driving at night and it's in your face, you can power it down. So it doesn't need to be on if you don't want it to be. Two sizable cup holders there with a drawer that slides across. Lift up and you've got one here. This, in the Journey in the Extreme, is actually refrigerated, which is really quite nice. So as you can see, my hand disappears, it tucks under and round. So it's a sizable space there. As I mentioned before, this vehicle has had the option of the panoramic roof. Whereas with the spec above, the Extreme, it comes as standard. This is an option. So we've got the power controls for it here. So we can have, if I pull this one down, you'll see the blind pulls across. And then you click it and it stops. You can pull it across and it's moving, click it and it will stop. So if you want it to go halfway, for example, so the front wants it but the rear doesn't, you can do that. But if we open it completely, so there, it will stop. But we can go again a second time and open it up completely. And then the other button on the side here, if we open that, you'll see the sunroof opening. And we press it again, it will go the whole way. So it will only go for the front half, the rear doesn't open again, but it is a really nice feature. And as I say, an option on the Journey, standard on the Extreme. Next to those buttons, we have the SOS button. This is an emergency feature. Don't press it unless you need to, but it will contact emergency services should there be an incident. So you may have noticed this little square here and wondering what that's for. A phone holder. It's got a little button on the bottom and that opens up the prongs. So we can clip that on. Oh, it's a little bit fiddly when you're trying to do it with one hand. And then the phone holder's there. So if you did want it, it's there. It's expandable from the side, so it will hold pretty much every size phone that's out there at the minute. Or you can have it off for a more streamlined design. So connecting a phone to the Bluetooth is really quite simple. We click on the phone icon and then we click connect to Bluetooth. Paired devices, we want to add another one so we're visible. Pair new device. And it's just looking for my device. And there you see it's popped up with Renault Dacia how it's done. You tap on that and it will pair. And so it'll ask, do you want to pair with it? Authorization code, which will pop up on your phone. But it's not allowing me to pair because I'm currently filming rather than in my Bluetooth device. So if I was in my Bluetooth on my phone, click that, both codes will match and you click pair and it would connect up. So if we look into the vehicle features tab, so if we click on this, being the hybrid, it will show you your power usage. So if you're driving, there's a battery icons here, and it will show you if energy is going towards the motor, or if you're slowing down and braking, it will show energy flowing back into the vehicle. It's just kind of a little graphic to explain where the energy usage is. If we press back out of there, we've got this one here. So this is your road info. So it's showing you your kind of tilt and angle of the vehicle. If we press onto the camera here, so this has a four-way camera, as you can see. Right now we're looking out to the rear, and you see the blue lines. That's the direction we would be moving. Sorry, this is looking out to the front. So it shows you with the steer of your wheel where your vehicle is going to be going. The kind of teal lines there are your extremities of your vehicle, so the sides. And then these are indicators. So the blue, the little teal indent there is a good amount of space. Yellow is, yeah, you want to be stopping there. But on the side here, you can see we can change where our camera is looking. So I can see to the side. So if you've pulled into a space, you can have a look, am I in the lines? both sides. And then we've got the rear there. And again, so good amount of space. Think about stopping. Stop or you're going to crash. And then if we come back out of the road info, last one here is just your consumption scores, etc. So this obviously has only just been driven a tiny little bit, being a demonstrator vehicle. Hasn't done a lot in terms of actual mileage to show you a proper consumption scoring here. But this is showing 41.5 mile per gallon over this 7-mile journey with an eco score of 68. So that's saying been braking a bit late, been accelerating a bit hard, etc. there. So if we to show you the navigation, so brings up here, it's a really nice clear display. One thing to bear in mind, which is really nice, is it comes, when you purchase the vehicle, it comes with 8 years of automatic mapping updates. So as we all know, houses are being built everywhere at the minute. So this allows, that 8 years allows it to kind of keep updating and make sure, yeah, you've got the most accurate information as possible. You can add home, work, recent destinations, etc. Look for petrol stations, look for parking, restaurants. Everything really easy, nice and clear there. Obviously, it does have the Apple and Android CarPlay, so if you prefer things like Google Maps, you can use that. I know a lot of people are fans of Waze, so you can obviously display all of that on here anyway. But it's really, really responsive. You can kind of move around, zoom out, and it's, yeah, very responsive touchscreen. If we pull up that, it will show you traffic information on the route. Obviously, it's saying the route looks clear because I haven't entered anything into a destination yet. But say we were to enter Hendy Renault in Brighton. This is what we're looking for. So we want to go there. It's telling us it's 7 minutes, 3.1 miles, and how to go. So really nice, clear, easy displays. So what I'll do is I'll leave the sat nav running as we return to the dealership, so you can see kind of how it updates and how it moves along while I'm driving. We will take a little drive and see how it feels on the road. So we'll power on. Seatbelt, obviously, safety first. And then we will put the car into drive by popping it down. And as I say, electric handbrake will turn off automatically and we'll start a drive. One thing I'm noting while I'm in here, this has got blind spot sensors. So in the wing mirrors, a little orange light will appear should a vehicle be in your blind spots. It's a nice sunny day in Sussex, so there's lots of people out for a dog walk. So, being the hybrid, starts off on electric, so it's really quiet. And the acceleration is really good. That electric, and then you hear, as we pick up there, the motor's kicking in. There's a fair bit of wind noise. I mean, Dacia always has a little bit more than the Renaults that I review because there's obviously a sizable cost difference. But the quality of them is going up and up. And this one is, again, just even since the 21 models of the Duster and the Stepway, this has taken a leap forward again. And again, I'm talking to you, so you'd normally have a bit of music on, or you'd have passengers that you're talking to, so that wouldn't be as much of a factor. Feels really solid on the road, really, really solid. Doesn't feel like the kind of cheaper, clunky of the old styles. Put my foot down there, it really picks up very well. Being 155 brake, there is a nice bit of kind of welly behind it. The handling feels pretty solid, sticking to the road nicely. More walkers, don't want to run anyone over in the course of this video. There's a fair amount of potholes on this road, so obviously you'll see a bit shaky in the camera, but I'm not feeling it very much, which is always a good sign, especially the state of the English roads nowadays. It's a bit of a joke. The light from the panoramic roof option is really nice to have in. Kind of just adds a sense of a nice drive to your drive. It is a bit of a wider vehicle, so these little country roads can feel a bit more tight, but that room is really, really lovely to have. So as you can see, sat nav rolling down. I really like it. It's nice, clear, easy sat nav to see while you're driving. Overall, my honest opinion, and just bear in mind, I'm not affiliated to Renault or Dacia in any way. It's just cars I know. My honest opinion is this vehicle is really good. It's a really lovely family car. The hybrid aspect is obviously really nice in terms of energy saving and saving in your pocket as well. I've got kids, and I would find this vehicle really, really useful. The overall size, the boot capacity is just awesome. As I say, after this drive bit, I'll have a little sit down and I'll explain kind of dimensions and specifications in a bit more detail for you. So indicator on the left side there, as all Renaults and Dacias are. So honest opinion of that drive, yeah, really, really nice. Kind of sad to give it back, to be honest. But here we are back at Hendy Renault Brighton, so I'll have to hand the vehicle back, and as I say, we'll have a little sit down and go through some of the dimensions and specifications for you. So this is the Bigster brochure. It's would advise you all to take some time to read over it. I'm not going to sit here and go through the whole thing in depth because it's just not the best way for it to happen. For you to retain the information, I would download it on the Dacia website and have a good read. We will stop really briefly at the colours here, and as you can see, it comes in the glacier white. The pearl black is the next one, and then we've got shadow grey. Going on to the indigo blue, which is the colour we saw today, the cedar green, and the terracotta. So 5 colours, really nice, and can be options from the journey upwards. Into the expression spec, you can go through kind of and see what it is. It's obviously a 7-inch digital instrument panel instead of the 10 on the next spec. Options being metallic paint, space saving spare wheel. And if we move down to the next one, this is the journey that we looked at today. Obviously options there, panoramic roof, which I've shown you today, and then the 2-tone paint if you wished, 10-inch display. And then moving down to the next one, one thing to note, as I mentioned before, you cannot, on the extreme, have the panoramic roof and the electric tailgate. Really odd that the middle spec can have those 2 options, but the top can't. But it is the way that it is, sadly. So just something to really bear in mind when you're choosing what you want from your vehicle and what spec you go to. There's a load of accessories, some really, really interesting things, from rear passenger usage, like these tablet holders, smartphone holders, electric charging points, etc. And then some that we showed you today, like these side steps, which are a 550, including the fitting. So, as I say, it'd be really good for you guys just to take some time to have a little read through the brochure. And again, the guys at Hendy Renault in Brighton, if you are down in the southeast, anyone, or across the south, there's Hendy branches. So I'd take a little time to have some conversation with them. They're really, really good at what they do and are very knowledgeable. So thank you very much. As ever, I want to thank Hendy Renner in Brighton for, again, facilitating the use of the vehicle today. I've said it before, but it's a really good dealership, some really, really good people there. So I'd give them a call and organise a test drive of this great vehicle. And once again, please, if you can, like, subscribe, share the channel, just to get this information out to more people and let people see how good a vehicle this really is.